Hello there on a Thursday afternoon in a gorgeous blue sky North Carolina afternoon, where the warmth has returned after a few days of unexpected coolness. And in this unexpectedness, I find myself sitting up here in the playground. Last Saturday, if you watch that quick, silly video with me with paint all over me, I ended up being the one to paint the ceiling of this playground and the floor that I'm sitting on right now. And when I was up here last Saturday, it brought back memories of childhood in that I didn't ever have anything this cool to play with. And I was excited to make this inviting and safe for our current children, which, by the way, we have about 8 to 10 children who on any given Sunday show up and join us for worship, which is an exciting thing. And when I sit up here, it's a different perspective. It puts me back in another time. And it also reminds me that here in August of 2021 in North Carolina, well, there are new perspectives to be had. And sometimes we have to change our vantage point, change our views, visit new spaces, even within those spaces which we frequent often, to really open up our eyes and see something anew and through a different lens. So if you haven't done that lately, I invite you to find a new place to sit, a new viewpoint to look out of. And if one of those needs to be helping with a project, Curly is gathering a team currently that has possibly some carpentry skills and or just some muscle to hold up boards. On the back deck of the annex, it's actually not very safe for some of us, many of us that are going up and down those steps and trying to get in that back door. So we're going to move the steps to a platform, which means that we actually have to have a platform, and then we'll attach the steps back onto the platform to give us a little bit more space. And so if you would be willing to help with that project, I hope that you will reach out to Curly and put your name on that list, for that team is forming right now. Today at noon, we hosted with 4 of us watching a General Synod workshop having to do with the intersection of justice and our money, or our finances, or our value system around money and how we understand finances, interspersed with justice. And it was intriguing, eye-opening, and the 4 of us probably could have talked for a lot longer after we watched it. And there are going to be some questions attached to this email that I hope that you will take a look at. For I think they are taking us into a step that here at High Country, conversations that would be good for us to have, especially considering that we have a group of people that are going to begin intriguing us to pay down our mortgage. And these conversations of money are not easy. And I think it behooves us to deepen our own spirituality while we create a safe environment to have these conversations, to really begin to open up our hearts to hear one another and how we understand our own financial theology, actually, our theology of money. In regards to that, these workshops, Terry Clevenger and I watched one last week on interfaith dialogue that was just exciting and nurturing of our spirits. So if you've not been watching these or not known about them, I implore you to look at the schedule that's attached and to join us for one of those. We have an adopt a bed ministry here, and currently all of our beds have a name on them, a shepherd that is going to tend them. And beyond that, the 9 people who have put their names in that hat to adopt a bed, well, they gather together. And they have a set of protocols that they're using to be community together as we seek to create beauty here at High Country United Church of Christ, beauty for the whole world, not just for us. And in so doing that, what we understand is that some of our beds need thinning out. We have some amazing purple iris that are right now being dug. If you would like some of those, let us know. We have some hosta that really need to be dug up and thinned. So if you would like some of that, let us know. If you have any ferns or hosta that you would like to donate to us to finish off our bank, or something else that goes in the deep shade, please let us know. For this is a community endeavor. And so as you come and you look at these beds, I hope that you will make sure that you entreat those who are shepherds of those beds and to offer them your blessing. And last but certainly not least, I've been on a few calls in the last 48 hours, both telephone calls, Zoom calls, and email listservs that are a bit alarmed with the increasing numbers of COVID in our own county and in the high country. And so with that said, I want to make sure that you understand, according to an email that I got this morning, that our hospitals, ICU beds, COVID unit beds are once again full. We have COVID patients, and those are both vaccinated as well as unvaccinated peoples from COVID. We actually even have a baby, a 40-day-old infant that has COVID. And so it has been strongly encouraged that we wear our masks and that we continue to social distance, specifically indoors, and that we take measures of social responsibility to help keep our world as safe as possible. This Sunday, I invite you to consider joining us live as we welcome and host Reverend Michelle Mathis into our space. Last week, Michelle Grit entreated us. I'm sure that we could have visited with her for another hour. She opened our eyes on how we understand ourselves as sexual beings in healthy and whole ways. This week, we welcome Reverend Michelle Mathis, who is the founder and co-director of Olive Branch Ministries, which is a ministry of harm reduction in Hickory. And we have a connection with her through the North Carolina Council of Churches. And if you want to wonder or open up your own heart, your own spirits to how we are in relationship with those who have an addiction to a chemical substance, to alcohol, to drugs, to something outside of themselves, and how we love them and hold them as sacred beings, I strongly encourage you to join us in worship this Sunday. Until next week, I hope that you find yourselves well. I hope that you're asking questions to expand your spirits and to deepen your roots. For the trees of faith that we have been offered, for those branches to be wide and healthy and nourishing, well, our roots have to grow deep. So may this be our call. Until next week, peace be with you.